Welcome, fans, to another off-season episode presented by Lucarelli Law. If you're in Florida and need a lawyer, shout out to Dom Lucarelli in Naples, and he'll help you out with anything you need. This is Little Ed, your host for tonight in my nightclub that Cousin Ed is extremely jealous of. I'm here with my co-host, Coach Ed, and our producer, PJ. What's up, fellas?
How we doing?
What's going on?
Coach Ed, how we doing? What do you got? What's been going on? How was your weekend?
It's a busy August. It's going to be a busy September, it looks like, too, huh? We got a lot going on. Hockey season's around the corner. Played a little golf. Still trying to live have a little fun, but everything's going good.
Definitely got to mix in some fun here and there. Right now, we're going to have to weather this storm on Long Island in Long Beach with the lightning and the thunder, but after that, I'm sure hopefully the weekend will be beautiful. PJ, what's going on, bud?
Not much. Yeah, back from vacation, back to reality, but 1 week closer to Rangers hockey. What are we? A little 5 weeks till camp and preseason, so we're getting there. And we got a lot on the docket with the show, so finally some action.
I guess that's a good segue into what you worked hard on scheduling today. So we got the annual rivalry tour that our annual listeners are familiar with, but any new listeners, every year we get other podcasts or other writers from other other teams around the Metro, the Rangers rivals. More specifically, we got the Isles, the Devils, the Penguins, the Flyers, and the Hurricanes. So, PJ, why didn't you fill in the fans right now? What date you got in line for that?
Yeah, so far we're going to be kicking it off on August 25th. We're going to switch it to a Monday just to help our guest out. We have he reps called the Caniac Report. It's a podcast, one of the most popular podcasts for the Hurricanes. So Sam Wallace, I believe is his name, is going to be coming and joining us for that. And then so far we have on September 10th, September 17th, my bad, is Siobhan Nolan from the Flyers. She's been on multiple times. And then Neil from Devil State of Mind's coming on September 3rd. I know I did those out of order. And then we're going to have the boys from Hockey Night New York just trying to nail down their date. And then also from Tip of the Iceberg for the Penguins nailing down their date. So we'll have that schedule out once it's officially official, but things are percolating for sure.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff. I mean, for more reasons than one, the rivalry tour has been kicking since this podcast has been going. So going on our 7th year. Back in the day, we used to just had my college buddies who were fans from other teams. So I always like to give them a shout out for being there when we really needed them. And then we kind of moved on to, I guess, bigger and better things, unfortunately. But Mikey 150 stuck around for the Bruins to cover the Bruins with us. And then he moved up to cover the entire league with us and really help us out with fantasy and things like that, help out our fans and listeners. So it's been really cool, the whole rivalry tour journey, what it has evolved into and what it continues to evolve into, because the guests that we locked in for the rivalry tour ended up being friends and I guess recurring guests of the show even during the season as well. So any new listeners, you guys can look forward to that in the coming weeks in September mostly, and will lead us right into preseason and then the big season coming up. So exciting stuff. So what else we got, PJ? I already forget the order that I was going to go into. Another big announcement is we have welcomed another member of the show. You guys met her, last week or 2 weeks ago. Allie Johnson, that New York Ranger girl, is going to help us out behind the scenes with our social media. She already has been tremendous. Coach Ed's been all around Instagram, all over TikTok with Allie's funny videos that he's made of him and our show and everything. So she's already done a great job helping me.
I didn't see any of these videos. I got to approve these first. What do you mean?
I get the approval. If I run your Instagram, I get the
I don't
approval.
have your number,
So
or I would text
welcome.
them to you.
You're welcome to take over. But what I was saying is Allie's done a great job helping me and PJ out already. And hopefully we'll be able to bring a lot more content to you guys with her help. So congratulations, Allie, for being named part of the show as social media, assistant or social media producer for the Rangers Ed podcast, our first ever. So congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well deserved indeed.
Thank you. I don't know about that, but
No, absolutely. You've already given me and PJ a bunch of tips. Other than like just putting together the video themselves, you've been texting us and letting us know when to post, where to post, all that good stuff, different hashtags and stuff like that. So the reason why we brought you on is exactly what you've been doing the last couple days or weeks, and we can't thank you enough. So,
well, thanks for the
yeah, look forward
opportunity.
to-
I appreciate it.
For sure. Yeah. So I mean, react. How do you feel about being part of the
I don't
team?
know.
And
I'm nervous, and I'm honestly looking forward to talking about Cousin Ed's video.
all right. So, Coach, what do you want to talk to Allie about in regards to Cousin Ed's video?
Not Allie. I wanted to talk to PJ because.
Well, did you
Cousin
hear
Ed's-
the one? You didn't see the one that we sent you the other day? Sent you guys the other day of what goes on in your head when watching one of those videos?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, it was a perfect response.
Yeah. So we send you the videos. You just don't respond.
Well, I thought you made it sound like there was a lot more. I saw that one. I thought it was.
You're the
hysterical.
star of
We
basically
had,
all
we
of
had the
them.
golf one. We had the golf one of you putting one in the water on 16. There's been a few.
Oh, okay. I didn't know Allie was involved in that. I just thought you did that.
I made that one.
I'm dropping Allie. Allie has a specific Google Drive folder in our whatever Google Drive account, and I'm just dropping everything in there, and she's just going crazy. So fans out there on social media, definitely give us a follow because there's going to be some good stuff.
Yeah, she's got a creative
Anyway.
mind, no doubt about it.
I really appreciate that effort because between you guys doing all this, I wouldn't be here. So that's for sure.
Definitely
I could barely
construction
log on.
videos
I could
too.
barely log on StreamYard.
I made her a folder for construction videos, so tell Sammy to keep those coming too.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not of you sitting under a house without any safety gear on, building a wall, but the ones that you are safe in, we can post.
It's not under a house. It was a porch, and it wasn't any danger. A hard hat's not going to do anything if the porch falls on me. Even my head's not that hard.
There's more safety gear than just a hard hat, but whatever. So what do you got? What was up with Cousin Ed's video?
Well, he takes that dig at us saying, oh, I left PJ. I feel bad for abandoning him, going off on Panarin. That's what we pay him for. The next time we have a discussion when Igor's not stopping pucks, I'm going to say that's what he's paid to do. That's it. I don't want to know nothing. I don't want to hear the defense left the guy. He's paid to stop pucks. Stop the puck. And trust me,
I'm already so ready.
Stop the puck.
I'm already so ready this whole season. You and Little Ed are going to be coming every time he has an off game. It's going to be knee against the world, but I'm ready for
Look,
it.
everybody has a slump, but Panarin has been a great signing. I get that. And I've made my voice loud and clear in the past 3 years. They're not going to win a cup with him as their number one guy. That's the bottom line. Because he's not going to produce in the playoffs when it comes crunch time. Yes, round 1, 2, maybe into the third. But when the better teams are all over him, he hasn't appeared. And that's the bottom
I have a
line.
hot take on that. Can I say
Shoot.
something? Him saying that Panarin is one of the best signings in NHL history is wild when Adam Graves exists. And Adam Graves actually has a cup and performed in the playoffs. So that was my hot take on it. That's why I wanted to be here for that conversation.
Okay, that's not a bad point, but I'm sure he'd have a rebuttal on that too, but whatever.
Oh, me too, but he's not here. So
It's all about, there's been plenty of guys on teams that put up a lot of points, and it comes down to even Lundqvist admitted it. He wanted that cup. So all the accolades he's got, the Hall of Fame and everything else are phenomenal. The gold medal, but he wanted that Stanley Cup. You could see it in 2014 when they lost. He was freaking shot over that. He wanted that so bad. So, and that's probably why he wanted to sign with Washington. He felt they had a chance, He wanted to do something, but didn't work out.
Yeah, Chris.
I didn't want him to have a heart condition where he couldn't play, but I'm glad he never played for Washington.
I'll agree with that wholeheartedly.
Agreed.
Chris was going after Cousin Ed in the comments today. I was just sitting back eating my popcorn on Instagram watching it like I usually do with PJ versus Chris, but today it was Cousin Ed versus Chris.
I'm
so
convinced Chris just lives
it's
to
good
argue.
stuff.
I love it, but
It's good
man,
stuff.
He might be my alias. He might be my alias, PJ. Me and Ali
maybe we should
created a
have
secondary account, and that's my
Yeah.
alias.
Yeah.
It
It's
wouldn't
called a
shock me.
burner.
A burn account.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You see,
No, but I
didn't
think
know that
what
existed.
Cousin Ed's point on Panarin is put all the defense, all that aside. Since he's signed with the Rangers, no one has more points than him other than McDavid and Draisaitl. So if you look at it from just a free agency success, I mean, it's hard to get better than that. I know we want the cup, but he has delivered, at least in the regular season. And it's not like he hasn't done nothing in the playoffs, like we talked about last week. He has some big moments. Sure, we want more, but you can't say he's done nothing.
I didn't say he did nothing. You didn't listen to what I said. I said round 1 and 2.
No,
Round 1 and 2, he's doing what he's paid to do. Then when it comes crunch time, round 3, we never got to the finals with him. He disappears because they beat him up and he has no space. And that's the difference. And just like McDavid and Draisaitl with their points, every year they don't win, what is the conversation? That, yeah, they perform, but they're not getting it done in the finals. So that's going to be their legacy if they don't win. Yeah, they're phenomenal, probably top 5 in the world of hockey players. But if they don't win the cup, that's going to always be the star, the asterisk.
No, I agree. There's definitely more. You want more. There's no doubt. I'm not saying he's not without blame. But I think if two things could be true. What? I was going to say two things can be true at the same time.
Do you guys know who Terry Bradshaw is?
Yes.
Okay. He won 4 Super Bowls. He said his biggest thing, I saw him on an interview, his biggest thing was when he got in the moment, he did not want to lose a Super Bowl. And he won 4, 3 of them in the last minute of the game. And he's I think one of the only quarterbacks to be in 4 Super Bowls and never lose. So, the legacy is there. And when you lose, Jim Kelly with the Bills, there's a lot of other pro athletes lost 4, and that's his legacy. And Panarin's legacy is going to be, yeah, he's a 100-point player in the regular season, never won a cup. So, yeah, he's doing what he's get paid to do to get them there, but you got to get them. If he wants that big, big contract, he's got to be able to get the team over the hump, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. I was just going to say before that was two things could be true at the same time. Like, one, he might not have gotten them over the hump, but as far as just talk of free agency signing, he has done what you asked. I mean, like, he's averaged over 90 points in the, 6 years he's been here, 2 top 5 MVP.
If the Panthers go on to win, here's my Panthers comment of the episode. If the Panthers go on to win another cup or two with Marchand on the team, is he the best free agent in NHL history?
I mean, it depends because he won a cup before he was a free agent signing, though, technically. So I don't know how but if he goes to win 2 more, yeah, maybe. But I think Rangers history is definitely the best, I think.
Oh, okay. All right. So, all right. He's the best free agent signing in Rangers history. I'm not denying
But he's
that.
Definitely up there in the NHL history. There's no question.
Ali had a good point about Gravy before, so it's close.
The signings that get you over. They didn't sign Messier or trade for Messier to get his points during the regular season.
And Graves also went from a spare part to a first liner. So,
what's that, huh?
I said Graves went from like a spare part to a first line player, and then went on for a cup.
Because he's that piece of the puzzle, and he does what it takes to win.
So that was my point.
So that's definite it. And they didn't sign Messier. They signed Messier to win a cup, and he delivered. They signed Panarin to win a cup, has not delivered yet. They didn't sign him to be the best free agent signing in Rangers history and get 100 points a year. They signed him to be a points player and win the cup. The Rangers' goal is to win the cup. So yeah, he's
I don't
got
wanna
the
spend
best
too much
points
more
in the
time
Rangers
on-
history. He's got all that, but got to win the cup.
Yeah, I don't want to spend too much more time on Panarin. I
Yeah.
feel like we talk about this every week, but to me,
So
it's
now
the
I'm sure
leadership
Cousin
thing.
Ed will
and
have
it's the-
Cousin Ed will have his bicycle helmet on again this week after listening to this one.
to
And he
me-
won't hear it.
yeah,
And there's no way
Yeah.
he's riding 16 to 28 miles an hour doing that video.
There was a helmet debate. in the
we
group
might
chat.
need to see some bloopers or some takes from Cousin Ed.
There's got to
Oh,
be
He
a
yeah.
Family
definitely
Guy or
caught.
something.
Yeah, he definitely stopped, and he had to have stopped and started a million times with that bike.
All right, so we gotta move on. Allie, congrats! Thanks for hopping on with us.
Thank you
We
so
look
much for
forward
the
to it.
opportunity. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I really don't know what I did to make you guys think that I'm worth it, but I appreciate it.
I'm not going to explain it again. We got to move on.
All right.
You're
It's
doing
fine.
great.
I'm just kidding. You
I'll just say
earned
thank
it. You're a blossoming star in the Rangers Town social media world, and we're glad to have you as part of the team, and we look forward to growing together. So
Glad to be
Very
here.
much.
Thank you.
Watch and peep those Will Gooley
Great
gloves
job,
in the
Al.
background she just purchased.
oh yeah,
And I
Cooley
actually
Game
have my
One gloves.
certificate of authenticity.
We saw the Instagram reel. Very cool. All right,
Yep.
so we got thanks for joining us. We got another announcement coming up. Fans, let's bring on Marky Mark, our next guest, if he wants to have his quick rebuttal about Panarin, I guess. was in
Oh,
the
that
chat,
beard's
so might as
getting
well give
pretty
him a shout.
large there, Mark.
Hey, Coach, this is the backwards playoff beard. I'm going to the start of the season with it, then I'm going to shave it.
There you go.
Okay. In the summer too, that's bold.
like a
You spent a
reverse
lot of
wrap.
time on the beach with that beard.
20 plus years, I never grew a beard. I didn't know I could do this. It fell off the top of my head onto my face.
Yeah, well,
You
that's
look
what
like
happens, Mark.
what was that kid? What was that game when we were kids with like you were able to like draw the beard on like the face?
Well, you just
with,
let
like,
everybody know what my
magnet?
Halloween costume is going to be. The magnet kid,
Really?
the magnet guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that for Halloween. I'm gonna do a big.
Wow,
box.
that's hilarious that I thought of that. That's great. Well, maybe I can help you out with that in the workshop.
That would work.
Yeah, guys. So a quick announcement. I guess PJ got the tickets first, and then Mark and I and Coach Ed hopped on board. We're gonna head down to the Rookie Series in Allentown, Pennsylvania, to check out the Young Guns down in take on the Flyers Young Guns. I guess the rookies down there. So that should be exciting stuff. I mean, if you guys are listening, or if anyone's watching and wants to join us, yeah, grab a ticket. We'll meet up at one of the games or whatever, and we'll figure it out. So it should be fun. Mark, what do you think? You excited?
I'm amped about it. When PJ told me about it, I saw the dates. Not to say that my wife is working, so I knew I sort of stag. So I knew I could take a road trip and get 2 days of hockey in. So I'm sort of
Nice.
stoked about that. And I think PJ and I haven't hung out except for via text or face-to-face on the computer. So him and I are going to have 2 really good days together. Obviously, we've hung out before, but I've never hung out with PJ before. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it should be a good time.
Yeah. Are we saying what section we're in? Or we're going to keep that on the DL right now?
I'm down. You guys we could say it. Go for it. Yeah, more
Section
than merrier.
104,
you're
row 10 crew. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. Section 104, row 10. So, yeah, that should be fun.
Rangers heavy.
And then 25 days later is opening night. I took a look. We're at 55 days today to opening night, 25 days to opening night after that.
Yeah, we're getting there. It's right around the corner. Wow, that's so close. Crazy.
I'm pretty amped.
So yeah, definitely bring some.
I have
bring
something
some.
for Tom. I have something for Tom. I know I'm going to be getting out of here soon, but I want this. I know he's an Avery fan, so I busted out the game used Avery stick from the 07-08 season.
Wow, look at that!
Nice.
Was that a TPS response?
Yeah, dude, it's
Wow.
pretty wild. Yeah,
I know my hockey sticks. I saw it right
yes,
away.
you do.
Very
Yep.
cool. That's a throwback.
Yeah, buddy.
Wow, man. Yeah, Mark's got a ton of good stuff, guys. As the listeners know, he's one of our sponsors for the season and partners of the show. He's going to be on the bench, ready to be called in for any episode on the fly if we need a fill-in. Big depth guy. So yeah, it's going to be a good time. Going to be a good season. Go follow Mark at the Blue Line Blue Shirts on Instagram. And I guess Twitter's different, right, Mark? What's your Twitter? Or just why don't you plug all your socials?
So I'm mostly on. I stay on Instagram mostly, but I'm gonna bring up because my handle was taken, so I had to find another handle. I am at Thin Blue Line NYR on X.
Gotcha.
And then I have my Instagram, which you plugged already, which I really appreciate. I got to start
Sure,
putting
man,
a couple
always.
more jerseys up as the season starts to roll around. The next one will be on the 17th as a hint.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
they're really cool.
Yeah, and I missed a call from Mike from Long Island Sports Network before, so we definitely got to book our Rangers Ed Cribs episode over at Mark's house. If you guys are watching, you could see that he has a very cool Ranger room over there. So we're gonna try to film an episode over there, or film like a guided tour throughout the Ranger room and see what's going on over there. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully we get on the same schedule soon and we can get that going. Marks, thanks always for joining us, and we really look forward to hanging with you at the Rookie Series. It's going to be a good time.
I really appreciate you guys. Yeah, I'm looking forward. Coach, always good to see you. I love you, buddy. Love you guys.
All right, bud.
Love you too, man. Talk to you soon.
PJ, I'll talk to you in 10 minutes.
Get back in the chat. Get out of here.
Later, guys.
All right.
Before
so
we
I
go
want to
further,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but before we go further, I just want to shout out a few new listeners, I hope. Brendan and Cassie down in Long Beach. I told them I'd shout them out last week. So hopefully they're listening again. And played golf with this kid, Steven, from Floral Park. I don't know his last name, but he's a big Ranger fan. He's supposed to be listening also. So, guys, send Eddie a message or PJ a message on the video if you're watching.
Yeah, I don't know who. If someone on Instagram named Chamber728, I don't know if that's one of those people. They just said Coach Ed can really hit a golf ball. Let me tell you.
Oh, maybe that's him. That might be Steve. Then there you go, Steve.
Nice. Well, he probably doesn't want you to say his last name on air anyway, so good thing you forgot it.
I didn't ask.
We'll go. But yeah, I don't want to keep our guests waiting. I don't want to keep the fans waiting. Our next guest, special one, something unique we are doing this week is we're bringing the founder or co-founder of the JetBlue hockey team. He also happens to be a pilot that works for JetBlue, which I think is super cool. So let's not waste any time. Let's bring on Tom Murphy. What's going on, man?
What's up, boys? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, not only does he play hockey, he flies planes. He also is a ring announcer.
Yep.
For the Strong Island Boxing tour, or whatever you want to call it, I guess, events.
Yep.
Which I thought was really cool too. And we don't get political on the show, but I would be remiss to not mention your cameos with your outstanding Donald Trump impression. So if you guys are listeners and want to book him on Cameo, you could definitely give him a shout out over there. And out of all those things, the most impressive thing is he's an outstanding girl dad all over Instagram, hanging out with his 2 young girls, which is an outstanding thing. And yeah, man, you could do it all. You've done it all. You continue to do it all. So welcome to the show, bro.
Appreciate it, boys. Thanks. And, in honor of Coach Ed, I jumped in my pool right before the episode. I know he's a big pool guy. So, I got back from boxing. It was a little sweaty. So I took the old redneck shower, hopped in the pool, and now we're good to go.
Got to get that in before the thunder and lightning started.
Absolutely. Well, I'm out in Manorville, so we're
He's a little more out east.
Weather-wise with you guys.
Might be heading your way, so be safe out there.
All right, before we get into any hockey question,
Sure.
Murph, can I call you Murph?
No,
Call me Murph. That works.
Okay.
hockey's last. We got plenty of time for hockey. He's here. He's here to talk being a pilot and about the JetBlue hockey team.
Whatever you guys want. And real quick, it's the Strong Island Fight Night series. The next event, if I could plug that real fast.
Absolutely, man. Go for it. 7th
at Stereo Garden in Patchogue. Amateur boxing, 15, maybe 16 matches on the card. It's a great night out, if you guys are around.
Yeah,
what was
man.
the date?
What would you say? What was the date?
I believe it's
sorry.
September 27th. It's Saturday night. It's definitely a Saturday night. I want to say 27th. Maybe it's 21st. Hold on. The old calendar here. That's the – where are we? Yes, the 27th, the last Saturday in September at Stereo Garden in Patchogue.
Very cool. And, like I mentioned, Murph.
I don't know. Way back when I was a kid, we used to go to the Golden Gloves matches. A friend of mine, buddy, fought in it. And those are some great fights if you're a boxing fan. These amateur boxing matches, some great fights.
Guy that runs my gym, he's a 2-time Golden Gloves champion back in the day. So
very cool, man. Yeah, what was the gym? I asked you a while ago what gym you were part of because I was interested, but it's a little too far of a drive for me.
I know it. Yeah, it's Strong Island Boxing. It's out in Shirley. So I know you guys don't like to leave Long Beach to begin with, but it is kind of far.
Well, Coach Ed and I have to drive pretty far to coach Stony Brook. So
That's true, yeah.
it's and I drive pretty far for my career, but when I get home, I usually I like to stay here when I am home. But
it's a good time.
Coach, would you have anything else for Tom before we kick it off? Or did
I got the big question. If you listen to this show, you know we quote movies a lot, and me and my cousin are like probably a couple of our favorite movies are the airplane movies. So when you guys are pilots and you're up there, do you guys ever do that stuff like fooling around in the cockpit, like over Roger? You know,
yeah, a little bit. I happen to be not the. I mean, it's like slapstick humor. I'm not a big Slapshot guy. I'm not a big airplane guy. Top Gun's a little cheesy. I don't know. There's definitely some great one-liners in there. Yeah, I think one of my favorite airplane movies is probably Air Force One with Harrison Ford when he's the president.
No, Airplane, the comedy movies.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's saying he's not a huge fan of those.
Pilot, and then they got the blow-up auto, the autopilot. And,
right.
I'm familiar with some of the content. We goof off a little bit, but it's. I would say
I don't want you goofing off too much.
No.
That's what he's about to say. Yeah.
I use that term loosely. We are professionals, and we make our job look easy because we've been doing it for a long time. I've been flying for 27 years, so
wow.
I've been with JetBlue for just over 14 years. So we take our job very, very seriously. I should rephrase when I say goofing off, but we have a good time up there under the red.
You have to have fun,
certainly.
Well, I gotta say, Murph, I do a decent amount of work actually at JetBlue Terminal and for a company that we work for at the airport. And I could sit there and watch a plane take off. I'm 62 years old. It still amazes the hell out of me. Yeah. To me, it's got to be one of the most unbelievable feelings to hit that throttle and just take off on an airplane. I can't even fathom it. So, kudos to you to keep everybody safe and all the stuff you do. It's one of those things that we all take for granted when we get on a plane and travel somewhere, but you guys definitely have that big responsibility. So thanks for that. Even though sometimes I get mad when they say the pilot hasn't shown up yet. I don't know what's going on. We got to wait for a pilot from Glen Cove. I don't know where did he go?
It's Murph. It's Murph. He's boxing or something.
But anyway, I do appreciate how you guys do and the pressure you're under and stuff.
Well, thanks. We enjoy what we do, and the best part of my job is every day is different. The sky looks different, the trips are different, who you work with is different, so it's never a boring moment at work for sure.
Nice.
That's awesome, man. Well, I want to rewind the clock a little bit. I mean, when did you decide you wanted to be a pilot? Were you one of those kids that had toy planes playing with them forever? Like, talk us through it. Like, what brought you to where you are now?
So I had a close friend of mine in high school. Shout out Mike Brown. He's not the friend, but another Mike. I went to high school with Mike Brown, but another friend of mine. His name is also Mike. He was taking flight lessons through BOCES. I don't know if you guys are familiar with BOCES.
Yeah, sure.
Sponsored, technical school, and I couldn't fit the flight lessons into my schedule at the time. It required like 4 or 5 periods out of the school day, but that sort of piqued my interest. And as I started looking into colleges, I landed on Dowling College. They've since closed their doors, but They had a flight program at the time, and they gave me a bunch of money that helped me be able to take the flight lessons. And so I went to Dowling, and right out of Smithtown, I graduated in 98, went to Dowling, got my flight training done there while I was taking classes at Dowling. And then I started teaching people how to fly, did that for a few years. Then I flew private jets, a couple different companies, did that for about 8 years. And now I landed at JetBlue, and I've been there for about 14 and a half years. So it's been a great ride so far.
How do I get
cool.
a second? How do I get a second pack of peanuts?
Yeah, we don't serve peanuts on the plane.
Well, no, I mean chips, the sun chips or something, you know.
I think you're thinking of Southwest there, buddy.
You got to keep spending that JetBlue card. Yeah, my sister wanted me to ask you if there's any way she can get more perks without spending money, and I told her I don't think there's much we could do there.
I don't have the JetBlue credit card, but it's a great credit card. You really rack up the points quickly. I have too many credit cards, so I'm just gonna.
I do. Trust me.
I'm gonna leave that one to the side. But the people that I know that have the JetBlue credit card, it really you rack up the miles pretty quickly, and you can get to mosaic status pretty quick. But as far as the snacks go, they changed them up. They changed them up a lot. You know what they got if you buy I'd make sure I should say the branding correctly, but we're going to start offering our business class product is called Mint, and we're going to be offering that on all of our routes over like the next year. Or a mint light version of it on all of the routes, and there's premium snacks associated with that. I don't know if you guys heard of Tate's cookies, the baked cookies, Tate's, the green bags. They're phenomenal.
I've been getting those in the Comfort Plus section.
Dude, I could eat like 40 of those, like a big glass of milk. So that's probably my favorite snack on the plane. I got to be honest.
JetBlue's they're not using you right. You got to be a marketer or something. They got to be taking pictures of you in the cockpit with the Tate's cookies.
Yes. And my belly hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. So, I mean, that's awesome, man. I mean, cool story that, I guess you didn't know you wanted to be it until you were in high school. And you really just grabbed the wings and went with it, man. That's cool. So, I mean, like, I guess you said you've been longer than 14 years. You've been with JetBlue for 14 years. Like, over the years since you graduated or whatever, do you have to, like, take courses to, like, continuous education type thing, like to stay certified, or how does that work?
So, first, you get all your
like a driver's license. Does it expire?
Yeah. No. So there's a lot of pilot's licenses. You don't just get one pilot's license. The first license you get basically enables you to fly in nice weather, certain limited weather conditions. You can't make money while flying. Then you learn how to fly in the clouds and the bad weather, strictly by reference to the flight instruments, in the plane, so that, you could fly under more diverse weather conditions. Then you get your commercial pilot's license, which is really like, would enable you to tow a banner or fly a radio reporter over the roads to report the traffic, for example. Then you start learning how to fly twin-engine airplanes. Then a lot of people will become flight instructors to teach people all of the licenses that I just said. And then as you start flying more advanced airplanes, jet airplanes and stuff like that, you go to school and learn how to fly, that particular plane, learn all the systems on it. So you could be 2-3 weeks to get certified on each aircraft as you move forward in your career. And then it depends on the operator, it depends on the company. For JetBlue, we go back to school every year, once a year, and do a refresher. We go through emergencies and situations that we're not going to see every day in the full flight simulators, and we do some ground school and stuff like that. So there is definitely a recurrency factor to keep you sharp. We do quarterly distance learning as well on the computers. So we talk about, the hot topics, and, there's a lot of weather involved, obviously, and, aircraft systems and SOPs and federal aviation regulations. So it's pretty in depth, always learning.
Yeah, it sounds like you got you. Yeah, that's crazy. I wasn't really expecting it to be that frequent. I mean, I was hoping you guys did something, but I didn't expect it to be that frequent.
Now we, there's a lot of, I don't want to say stereotypes. Like, a lot of people think, well, the planes are highly automated. The plane just flies itself. But we have the ability to turn off a lot of that automation, and it's almost encouraged under certain conditions. If your crew member is comfortable with it, we'll turn off the autopilot a little bit. We'll turn off the auto thrust and manipulate the controls manually to kind of stay sharp. And it's, for me, honestly, it's more fun doing that stuff anyway. So.
Well, yeah, I would imagine so. But that was kind of my next question, or one of my questions. I guess you answered it in a way, but how often are you just manually controlling it? But you said you kind of just do it occasionally to stay sharp. But like if you didn't want to, or you didn't have the feel like doing it that day, it really could just fly itself pretty much. Or
Absolutely.
you have to take over at some point to land and whatever.
Yeah, and even when I say, the plane's flying itself, the autopilot's on, the systems are kind of controlling the aircraft and stuff like that, we're still managing all of those systems. We're still overseeing everything, ready to intervene at any moment. Our situational awareness has to always be spot on. You got to know where you are. You got to know what you would do in the event of an emergency, where the nearest airport is, if it's a suitable airport. I'm captain on the airplane, so I oversee all of the flight crew, and I'm responsible, obviously, for the safety of all the customers on board. JetBlue calls them customers, by the way, not passengers. So I got that branding correct. But yeah, there's a lot that goes on, and I love it. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, man, it sounds like you do. You're very passionate the way you explain it and then talk about your job. So I'm glad we brought you on. Coach or PJ, you have any questions for
No, I was going to say, like, spitting off as we're talking, focusing on planes. What was the coolest plane you've flown?
The first jet airplane that I flew was a Bombardier Global Express, which, some of the rappers talk about in their songs, but it's like a G5, is like a Gulfstream's version of that. It's a long-range business jet, large cabin business jet that I flew for a billionaire back in the days. I'm going back like 20, 21 years. That was a pretty cool airplane. I got over to Europe a lot. That's definitely the way to travel. If you ever find yourself sitting in the back of a PJ, that's the way to travel for sure.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe when Rangers Ed takes off, we'll all be on the back of one, and Murph could be our pilot.
There you go, man. You can throw the logo.
Maybe
right
if the Rangers actually make the final this year, he can take us all down to wherever that is. We'll do a road trip.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
the Winter Classic.
That'd be great. We stay right on Las Olas, and when we lay over in Fort Lauderdale, so that's a great location. Obviously, you guys, I'm sure you're familiar.
Perfect.
So how can I find out, like, if I book a JetBlue flight, can I find out the pilot?
The only way you'd be able to find out the pilot is if you know somebody that works for JetBlue.
No, because if you're the pilot, I never got to go in the cockpit when I was a little kid. I want to go in the cockpit and see what.
Well, I'll say this, if the flight crew is not busy, when you're boarding, you could ask, the in-flight crew member at the front galley. You could say, hey, is the crew busy? Do you mind if I just ask them a question or something like that? And a lot of the crews are very cool. They'll let you stop in and, maybe take a picture or something like that. It's very popular with the kids, but also with, the 62-year-old demographic as well.
Well, I have to say, a lot of times the pilot is up front and forward and greeting people at JetBlue. That's probably some kind of a policy they have.
Well, it's not a policy, but it is definitely encouraged. We try to differentiate ourselves at JetBlue from the other airlines, and we definitely try to engage with the customers to sort of separate ourselves from what the other guys do, what the other guys and gals do. It's not required, but you guys might be able to tell I'm somewhat of an outgoing person. So I like to greet the folks as they're getting on board the aircraft, and, sometimes make a, public address announcement about the flight from the front of the cabin, standing up. That's also encouraged, but not required. So I do like to engage a little bit.
I've been on a lot of JetBlue flights recently in the last year or so, and that hasn't happened once that I can remember. So that would be a nice touch. So good for you. I mean, that kind of was my next question too. You teed me up. I mean, it's like it's a Family Guy joke. I feel like it's other jokes all over the place of like the pilot getting on the thing, you know. So like, do you have like a script that you just like follow your set? Not from JetBlue, like that you enjoy, like cracking jokes or anything. Like, give us something.
I gotta be careful with the jokes. You know, I would say most often the joke that I'll make is like if I'm standing up at the front of the aircraft and I'm just talking about the flight. Hey guys, look to offer a quick welcome on board our flight 153, service down to West Palm Beach, 2 hours and 16 minutes once airborne. Expect a couple of bumps on the climb out, and I'm just going off on my spiel. And as I'm looking out through the cabin, if I could see a couple of nervous flyers, they're clenching up. They're like, if I mention the word bumps, or there could be a bump here or there, or I talk about weather, and I can sense or look at, I can see people are getting nervous. I'll like call them out. I'll be like, hey, it's going to be okay, 5 Bravo. We're going to be all right. We're going to make sure that you guys are safe. I like to put people on the spot a little bit. So I don't really, there's a lot of things you could joke about, and I've dabbled in stand-up comedy as well, but I don't think that's the correct venue to do it. Maybe behind the scenes with my friends when we're not working.
No, I didn't necessarily mean like a joke, more like a pun or something like that, just to keep it light.
Yeah. You know what I'll say sometimes when it's the last leg of the trip and we're heading back to Kennedy or LaGuardia, especially if we're delayed, I'll make a little joke about like, we're going to try to get you guys back to JFK as soon as we can, especially because that means that I can go home, or, something like that. I'll say maybe. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Make the people realize that they're in good hands. If they're feeling unsafe, certainly, the crew's not going to put them in an unsafe situation because they'd be putting themselves in an unsafe situation. So I think a lot of people need to feel like they're in control on the flights. And I don't know if that alleviates that concern or not, but I try to be sensitive to that.
I got you, man.
Yep.
Coach, were you about to say something?
No, I'm good.
I feel like I'm asking all the questions here, but I
have plenty of questions. But like you just said, you go to West Palm Beach. Like, how many runs do you do in a shift? How's your shift work?
So there's a lot of duty time restrictions. Essentially, you can't fly more than 8 hours in a day. They can push that to 9 under certain circumstances. So if we're talking Florida, you can go down to Florida, back to New York, and then maybe back down to Florida if there's no delays, and then you're done for the day. So 1.5 round trips, if that answers your question.
All right, cool.
Yeah. But there's all sorts of trips. I mean, there's 1 day trips. Some of the most senior people that fly for JetBlue, a lot of them live in Long Beach, by the way. Flight attendants, in-flight crew members, pilots, flight crew members. All the crew members that are local, they prefer to do trips where they're home the same night. Get up super early in the morning, take maybe the first flight down to Orlando, take off at 6 a.m, and you're back to Kennedy by lunchtime, and then you drive home. And it's sort of like a 9 to 5 type of a job if you're senior enough, seniority wise, to hold those types of trips. Obviously, there's 2, 3, 4, 5 day trips that you could be, crisscrossing the country or whatever. So there's a large variety of trips, but I don't know. I probably went off on a little tangent there, but
no. I mean, I'm sure everyone's curious. Seriously, like that's why you're here. Don't hold back. I mean, the coach had said before, like flying an airplane, or like I mean, I was an engineering student and stuff. Like I took physics, and I still don't understand how it even works, or like you can't even fathom. Like you look outside. I mean, have you ever flown? I guess this wasn't even my question, but now it just popped in my head. Have you ever flown one of those double deckers, like those massive commercial flights?
Ask you that.
I have not. No. The current model aircraft that I fly right now, the Airbus 320 and the Airbus 321, those are the largest aircraft that JetBlue operates. That is the largest aircraft that I've operated. So,
and is that how many seats on each side?
3 and 3.
3 and 3.
So the way our aircraft are configured, we can hold up to 200 customers on a flight, and then some of the other cabins, if they're configured with a mint cabin, business class cabin, they might hold 159 customers, or down to like 150, something like that, 162. Depends on the configuration, but
Yeah.
those aircraft
I mean,
say when those aircraft are fully loaded, full of customers, full of gas, etc. They weigh upwards of 205,000, 207,000 pounds. Those double deckers that you're referring to, they could stay aloft for 14, 15, 16 hours, and they might weigh well over 1,000,000 pounds fully loaded.
That's insane.
Wow.
that's insane. Like, how does that get off the ground? Like, I mean, without getting in like too scientific or whatever,
Yeah.
but like, do you know like the speed of like the engine? Like, how does like what is? Can you give us like the
It's just
basic
lift times drag and rotation.
Yeah, duh.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's basic physics, enough thrust to get the weight up into the air, and lift counteracting the weight, and thrust counteracting the drag, and you do all the calculations to determine what configuration you're taking off in terms of flap settings and slats, which is like a leading edge device that helps to generate lift. So yeah, I mean, as far as airspeed, you mentioned like, how fast are you going before you get airborne? I mean, that depends upon the weight, but in terms of miles per hour, it's probably on the low end, 140, 150 miles per hour. And on the high end, upwards of 200 miles per hour. We do everything in knots, of course, which is nautical miles per hour. But
Right.
Yeah, it really depends on the day.
That's crazy. So like, what you're taking off, you're in control taking off and landing.
Absolutely. Yep. I'm not aware of any aircraft that can execute an auto takeoff. I'm sure in this day and
I
age
didn't know
of
that.
technology, I'm sure that it exists. Our aircraft is not that way. We could turn on the autopilot as early as, say, 200 feet above the ground off the top of my head. So we could turn it on, 30 seconds into a flight, or we could fly it all the way up to, there's a certain block of airspace that starts at 29,000 feet up to 41,000 feet where the autopilot is required in that block of airspace. So theoretically, if it's a shorter flight, you could leave the autopilot turned off for the entire flight. Or if you leave it turned off until you get to that block of airspace, it might be off for the first maybe 15 minutes of a flight. And then you could do the same thing when you're descending or preparing to land. You could turn it off for maybe the last 15, 20 minutes of a flight, depending on what altitude you're at. And obviously the comfort level of the other crew member, because when you turn off the autopilot, now the other crew member has to work harder to, monitor the systems. And, now that you're hand flying, he's manipulating the heading and the altitude and doing other things that you would normally be doing as the flying pilot if the autopilot were turned on, if that makes sense. So.
No, it does. That's crazy. Honestly, I guess it would be silly to assume that it was always autopilot for takeoffs and stuff, but I thought you guys had help with that. I mean, honestly, like, so you're doing like those calculations on the fly? Like, are there computers that are helping you with that, or like are you monitoring that? Is your co-pilot helping you out with this?
So when you first learn how to be a pilot, when I was going through it, Dowling, and if you go to any flight school to get all your licenses, they teach you how to do everything the old-fashioned way. So you learn how to do those calculations. You learn the effect that the temperature has on the aircraft and the elevation of the airport has on the aircraft, and you learn about all the physics, and you learn about basically how to do everything, the primitive way. And then as you get more complex, the company kind of takes care of a lot of it for you, and you're just reviewing the numbers and making sure that they're, make sense and that they're correct. And then you're signing for the paperwork and off you go. So at JetBlue, we have an operations center in Long Island City. We have an entire load planning department. They're looking at all the customers on the aircraft, where they're sitting, where the bags are loaded. There's 5 baggage compartments on the aircraft. Carry-on baggage is taken into effect. All of that goes into it. How much fuel is on board? If we have any cargo, we're sort of, we don't do a whole lot of cargo, but on occasion we'll have some cargo, and all of that information is communicated to us as the flight crew, and then we we input the numbers into our flight management computer, and that spits out a solution telling us what flap setting to use for takeoff, what trim setting on the horizontal stabilizer, the tail section of the aircraft, what setting to set for that, and what the airspeeds are going to be for takeoff. There's multiple airspeeds. There's a speed at which you decide to continue your takeoff, or you're going to reject or abort the takeoff. Then there's a rotation speed, and then there's a couple of speeds that are at play. So it all depends on the weight, temperature, elevation of the airport. A lot of stuff goes into play.
So when they're extra charging us for carry-ons and for, well, not me because I'm mosaic.
Oh, not a big deal.
Not a big deal. But no, seriously though, like when they're charging us for like an extra weight and stuff, it actually does matter.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's negligible or somewhat negligible, a couple of pounds in a suitcase, but I mean, if it adds up for you, I mean, it matters, right? And the whole weight of the plane, like before takeoff, there's some kind of a scale.
Yeah.
Sorry if you mentioned that in there.
We know exactly how much the aircraft weighs when we go to taxi off the ramp, and we'll know what it weighs when we're taking off. I mean, we can see that information in real time in the flight deck, but we also have that information as part of our weight and balance solution before we take off. So,
wow, a lot goes into it.
This might be a silly question, but I figure before we change gears, I don't know if that's pun intended or not. What's the whole thing about airplane mode with devices? Does that really even play a role, especially nowadays with all the technology on these planes?
That's a great question. I don't know if I have a great answer for that one. I would just say that it's probably designed for a reason. And I think that if it's advised to put your device in airplane mode, that you should probably do it. But I haven't seen it directly affect my flights in a negative way. I'm sure that I've operated flights where there's folks in the back that maybe forgot to turn their phones out of airplane mode or into airplane mode, and I haven't seen any adverse results from that. That's not me saying just get on these flights and don't worry about putting it on airplane mode. I think you should do that. You should just follow the rules. But I don't know exactly how, that's a conversation even amongst pilots a lot. Not that we don't know what we're talking about. It's just one of those things that
I always thought, like, if it was really that big of a security issue, they would never let you bring that on.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I don't think it's a security thing. I think it's like an interference thing,
or that,
maybe with your communications.
Do you guys remember the BlackBerries? Did you ever have a BlackBerry back in the day?
Hell yeah, I miss my BlackBerry.
I can remember riding on an airplane, and I don't think BlackBerries had airplane mode, but I don't think they did. I mean, we're going back 20 years now, but if I, sitting in the back, of course, not operating a flight, if I forgot to turn off my BlackBerry as we're coming into land, as I'm sitting there, all of a sudden my BlackBerry would come back to life. And if I'm wearing a headset or something like that, I can sort of hear the BlackBerry feedback over my headset. It almost sounds like, what is it, a Geiger counter? Do you know what that? You remember those in science? You hear back in the back, yeah. It sounds like a Morse code or something like that. As the emails are downloading from your BlackBerry. So I would say that's like the extent of any sort of feedback or interference that I've noticed from a personal electronic device on a plane. But
yeah, I'm sure there's very small chance of it happening, but like you said, there's always someone that's going to forget or not do it just to not listen to the rules or whatever. So, I mean, there's probably a small chance, but why take the chance, I guess, so
safety first. That's our number one value, Jeff.
Well, I was going to say, it makes me feel better for like Little Ed said, those people that like to say, screw it. I'm not going to put it in airplane mode. So I know I'm going to be safe no matter what.
You got to be safe. I mean, and the in-flight crew members they're in charge back there in the cabin. So, and then they'll call you out on it if they see you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. I'd say the most common violations are, somebody forgets to put their seat up, below 10,000 feet. It's got to be fully declined. And, the tray table's got to be stowed. That's another common one. And, people go to the bathroom and they're not supposed to,
Why is the tray table? Because just injury or something could happen during takeoff?
It's in the event of an evacuation. All the seats got to be fully forward so that there's enough room in the aisle to deplane and rapidly get off the aircraft in the event of an evacuation. Same thing with the tray tables. You ever try to, if you're on that window seat and you got to go to the bathroom in the middle of the flight and the person in the middle and the person on the aisle's got their stuff out and you're doing the climb over them and you're trying not to wake people up. And
It's the worst.
Yep.
So that's
once again, Murph, mosaic. So I don't deal with that.
you don't deal with that, right? I love that.
No
Eats
way.
lunch
I go right
morning-
for that.
morning of
I go right for
check-in.
the emergency exit seat with no one in front of me.
There you go.
Hey, you got to be willing and able to assist, though, Coach Ed.
I'm fine with it. I handle pressure situations, Murph.
I like that.
Well, not to make you relive anything or any kind of trauma, but has there been any bad situations that you could tell us about or explain how you got out of it? Maybe a little heroic story, and also what's your favorite, I guess, plane tragedy movie?
I gotta say, I know this is not the answer you're looking for. I've had a really boring career in terms of emergencies and things like that, and
That's a good thing, Tom.
it is a very good thing. Knock on wood. I got
Yeah.
20 years left.
I'm knocking for you.
Healthy, so I hope to continue that. Airplane disaster movie. Wasn't really airplanes, but the movie Armageddon, I think, kind of came out when I was starting to learn how to fly, and so that's always a memorable one. Had some aviation background stuff in there. I still like Air Force One. The president had to fly the disabled plane after everybody got, killed by the Russian terrorists or the Kazaki terrorists. But I don't know.
Snakes on a plane, I'm guessing.
No, I think I did see a little bit of that.
It's wild.
But that was like a pre-Netflix and chill, and I think she was as disinterested as I was. So we'll just leave it at that. But that was a long time ago too. That's like 25 plus years, right? Is that 2001? When was that movie?
Probably, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
No, Snoop Dogg, right?
Him or LL Cool J or one of
What, Snakes on a Plane was Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson. That's
Okay.
For sure.
Well, we had a comment here to switch
go ahead.
gears about Greg L says you're a great comedian. I know you mentioned you do a little comedy on the side. So do you want to talk about that?
I do some comedy. Greg L's a great hockey player, by the way.
Yeah, he did say to ask you about your 4 goals in one game, which we'll get into, I'm sure, the hockey. But
I think the goalie would want a couple of those back. One was an empty netter, so that really doesn't count.
they all count.
So comedy, I don't give her credit for much, but I'll give my ex-wife credit for this. There's no way she's listening, so that's good. No offense to you guys. She got me a class like 10 years ago. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Governor's Comedy Clubs. I'm doing all these shout outs for podcasts. Sorry about that, but
It's all good, man.
Governor's Comedy Clubs offer a class called Comedy College, and my ex-wife at the time bought me, admission to Comedy College. So that's how I got into it about 10 or more years ago. So you take the class, you learn how to write jokes, you learn how to perform, and then it includes like 2 shows with the class, graduation shows, and comedy is way more difficult than flying aircraft. Yeah, it's really hard. It's like speaking a different language. I'm comfortable, as you guys can see. I won't shut up over here. I'm very comfortable speaking in front of people, but the writing of the jokes is very difficult.
All right. So we
I'll
got to put you on the
still
spot. I got to put you on the spot.
but I don't really do it that much anymore. I had a couple of shows earlier this year in January. That's the last time I got up on stage.
Well, if you ever have another one, shoot us a message or tag us or whatever. We'll definitely repost it for you, or maybe we'll come check you out for sure.
Definitely.
But Coach Ed, I think, is about to put you on the spot.
That's all right.
Yeah,
There's some shows in Long Beach sometime. I'll let you guys know.
Definitely.
I got to put you on the spot. I got to hear your Trump impersonation, see if it's as good as Shane Gillis.
I think it's really good. I'll just say as a disclaimer, in case there's anybody from JetBlue's people department watching, that my Trump content is just comedic. It is not political in any way. I don't condone or endorse anything the president says. I am just a comedian, and my impression is not what Tom Murphy would say. It's what Donald Trump would say. So,
Well done.
All right, so let's see.
Well, we're here on the Rangers Ed podcast with Coach Ed and Cousin Ed and PJ. He's the producer. PJ stands for producer. We don't know what the J part is, but Coach Ed and Little Ed, Stony Brook hockey team, and they're pretty good, actually. They're pretty good. One of the better teams on Long Island or even the entire country, by the way. So a lot of people have been saying that. So there's a little Trump.
That was very good on the spot, bro. That was really funny.
Yeah.
I love it.
That was good stuff, man. Good stuff. Yeah, well, he puts a wig on and the suit and everything for his cameo. So fans, if you want to book him, definitely do that. That's really funny, man. Good stuff.
It's funny.
So,
and even people on both sides of the aisle appreciate it. So
of course. I mean, that's what
how
comedy's
do you not
supposed to
laugh?
be.
It's
That's
just
what
comedy.
comedy's supposed to be, man. That's what comedy's supposed to be. So I'm glad you're able to just do it on the spot like that. You're a very talented guy, for sure. So like I said before, anything you want to promote, anything you want help with, you could always shoot us a message and we'll help you out. I love
I
it.
appreciate that.
How did you
Yeah,
get
it's also
into
part.
the- sorry, Little Ed.
No, go ahead, PJ. Go ahead. Before
I was
move
going to
on.
say, how did you get into the ring arena announcing for the boxing?
So the owner of my gym, Strong Island Boxing, he is also a promoter, and he puts on these events at Stereo Garden, the Strong Island Fight Night series. And I guess it was 3 events ago. He put something up on social media that he was looking for an announcer, and he was going to have open auditions for a ring announcer. And I just DM'd him. I was like, bro, I could do that for you. And so he gave me a shot. This one coming up in September will be my 3rd time ever
Nice.
in the ring doing that. So the first show was January of this year, and then we had one in June, and then September we're doing it again. So I'm working all the Strong Island Fight Night series now. I'm a member of USA Boxing. I'm trying to do other gigs with that also. It's a lot of fun, man. I enjoy it. I like to hype the crowd up. I'm hyping the guys up in the locker room and on the ice, and I don't know. I like to bring the energy.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, maybe we'll come check it out if we're available that weekend. Once again, it's September 27th. Where was it?
It's at Stereo Garden in Patchogue. It's just off the main drag there in Patchogue, right off of Main Street. It holds like 1,000 people in the venue, and it's a pretty good night out.
Cool, man. Yeah, for sure, guys. If anyone's out there and from Long Island wants to go check it out, I'm sure it's a great time. Like Coach had said before, amateur boxing is exciting stuff.
Definitely.
Mark in the chat says that's not Long Beach, so but maybe we'll figure it out. We did just say before, Mark, that we're going down to Allentown, PA. So if we can make it there, we can make it to Patchogue, about 45 minutes, I'd say. But anyway, yeah. So the other or last reason, I guess, there's a bunch of reasons at this point. You're a jack of all trades, but the last reason is you're the founder of the JetBlue hockey team. So that's super cool. So why don't you take us through that? Like, when did you start that? How long has it been? What made you do it? All that good stuff.
So I was on a trip with a fellow JetBlue pilot, and we were laying over in Ponce, Puerto Rico. And I know the people of Long Beach know Ponce. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Aguadilla, which is Barranquilla. It's a big surfer spot. But we were in Puerto Rico. I think it was Ponce. And the guy that I was flying with, you always work with new people. And, throughout the course of the trip, we're making small talk. We found out that we both played hockey. And, in the course of that conversation, it's like, well, so-and-so airlines has a team and this airline has a team and that airline has a hockey club. Why can't we start it at JetBlue? So that was, I believe it was December of 2019. So unfortunately, right before the pandemic. So we got off to a late start, but our first skate had about maybe 15 or 20 skaters at a drop-in skate. We tend to get together in the Boston area. Ice time is substantially cheaper, and it's very easy for everybody to get to, because we have players from all over the country, really, mostly up and down the East Coast, but obviously the New York area, the Boston area, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Mass, Jersey, South Carolina, Florida. We got people coming in from all over the place, Midwest. So we get together quarterly, and it's all work groups, by the way, as well. So it's not just pilots, flight crew members, in-flight crew members, or flight attendants. We have some mechanics. We have executives. We have airport ops crew members, gate agents. We have ground, it's open to all work groups at JetBlue. It's open to all ability levels. We just go out there and have fun. We get together quarterly and do these drop-in skates, kind of work in a couple of drills. We are trying to get better, but we mostly just get together and, drop in. We're doing now maybe 3 or 4 tournaments every year. Let's see, we're in August. Our next tournament is in October, and it's in Nashville. It's the second annual, it's called the Boom Boom Cup. There's a former NHLer. His name is Danny. I can't think of his last name at the moment. So 200 by 85 is the name of the company. I don't know if you guys heard of them, but they're a company that essentially helps to organize tournaments, much like Can-Am would do. This year, there's 16 airlines in the event. Nashville,
Wow.
obviously, decent city to hang out and have a good time. So we're bringing 2 teams, Delta, United, American. I think they're all bringing 2 teams. Alaska Airlines has a team. Frontier Airlines has a team. WestJet, Air Canada. So 16 teams all together. We'll play in a round-robin tournament in Nashville. And then we've got a mini tournament in Lake Placid in December. That's with air traffic controllers, mostly from the New York area, but some from the Boston area. And then the controllers have a big tournament every year, March, April. This year it's in Calgary. I should say next year, March of 26. So it's in a different city every year. Last year it was Boston. The year before that it was in New Brunswick in Canada. We've been in Buffalo, Charlotte. So we're trying to get into more charitable stuff as well. We're working with the Bruins Alumni Association this year. We're going to be having a game with them in January. I believe it's January 17th at the Warrior Ice Arena, their training facility up there in Boston. So we're going to be raising a lot of money with them. I think $20,000 is the goal. So more to come on that. And a lot of the local teams hit up our account trying to get some games going. You mentioned the Steam Fitters. They were looking to play us, the NYPD detectives, the FDNY EMS team. And regrettably, I should be giving my guys and gals a hard time on this. It's usually difficult for us all to get together on short notice, but we would love to do that, and be more involved. That Hometown Heroes Tunnels to Towers event coming up. I don't know if you guys heard about that. And
Yeah.
I think it's October 17th. We're going to be out of town for that one, but that would be a good opportunity to, get in the mix. Maybe JFK Airport, their customs has a team. So
Wow.
yeah, there's a lot of, as you guys know, hockey's the best sport in the world. It brings everybody together, whether you're an ankle bender or you played college, you always have a good time out there. There's no egos. We just have fun. And so met a lot of good people, not only through the JetBlue Hockey Club, but just hockey in general.
Yeah, that's super cool, man. I mean,
Where'd you play as a kid?
I played at Smithtown. I was a late starter. I didn't start probably until I was 13 or 14 years old. And then I played high school at Smithtown. And that was it. I Played roller for a little while. I haven't played roller in like 25 years. I'd probably break my leg if I tried to play roller right now. I'm trying to stop. So now it's just ice hockey, beer league, strictly beer league. You know, I love it.
Nice.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I had no idea. I mean, 16, well, I guess you said a few airlines are bringing 2 teams, but whatever. Say 10 airlines have teams. I mean, that's pretty crazy. I mean, then you mentioned JFK Customs. So I don't know, PJ. Sounds like we got to do our homework and do like an airline interview series or something with the Rangers Ed podcast, because no one has any idea about that. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I had no idea.
What are the executives of JetBlue?
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
If you guys lose to Frontier.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a very interesting locker room dynamic. You got the executives, and you got the mechanics, you got the flight crew. It's a lot going on.
Well, that's our
organizational chart.
We're all, you know, multiple work groups. I think some of the other airlines have multiple work groups as well, but I would say predominantly it's mostly pilots on some of the other teams. There are some mechanics in the mix. But yeah, no, it's, you know, we get at each other on the ice like, you know, like you would in any other hockey game. You're chirping the opposition. You know, you're talking about you know, how big the other one's trade tables are and how delayed their airline is. And, you know, there's definitely some good fun to be had. But
what do you got to tell?
Air Canada won the whole tournament last year, not surprisingly. All those guys are like enormous. Like they played in the Western League or something. They're all like, I'm 6'1". Their smallest guy is like my size.
Wow.
So, you got to tell the team at Frontier, like, who flies your bags to the tournament since you can't have luggage.
Yeah, maybe some of their stuff was late getting to the tournament. a little delayed.
That's really funny, man. That's good stuff.
People watching, or if you watch back, he's got the hat on. The logo's sick with the airplane.
Yeah,
engine.
I love that.
My friend
help pay for your like gear and stuff like that, or is it just all on your own when you like co-founded and everything?
When we first started, we got a little bit of money to get us started, but that was not a you know, that was just like a kind of you know, help you get on your feet a little bit. Welcome to, you know, like a happy birthday present, I guess.
Thanks for doing this. Yeah.
You know, but everybody provides their own stuff now. Everybody pays for their own stuff. We get our own days off to, you know, we try to work around the events as much as possible. But, you know, much like the NYPD and the FDNY guys, they got to manipulate their schedules to be around for the practices, to be around for the games. And we're certainly not sponsored. We're not getting free equipment or nothing like that. Long Island Hockey Company, shout out to them. They do a lot of our merch. And Verbero, if you guys are familiar with Verbero, we work with them on custom gloves, and they're doing our jerseys and you know, shells for the hockey pants and stuff like that. So they do a great job. Long Island Hockey Company, Mike and Rachel, they do a great job too. So we got a lot of support, but we're paying for it all on our own.
Yeah, Mike and Rachel are friends of ours. They were an early sponsor of the show. I used to help out at Amity when I could, but I don't have that kind of time anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, I always like to shout out Long Island Hockey Company. They do a great job over there. But yeah, Tom, my friend Casey was actually saying, he's the founder of the Steam Fitters team. He's like, yeah, tell Tom I need some merch at least. If he's not going to play us, I definitely need some merch at least. So we got to set up like a Rangers Ed, Steam Fitters, JetBlue merch exchange somehow, and share, like, you know, when you exchange jerseys, that's what we do.
Yes. I'm going to try to make that happen. We just had a store that closed, unfortunately, a couple of weeks ago, but I think we're going to have some hats, not like the one that I'm wearing. It's a bit of a different design. I think it's all white with the logo on the side there, and the nice rope in the front there, and a different logo. Actually, I'm not going to, no, it's on the back of this shirt. I'll have to send it to you guys when we get off the air. But yeah, I'll make that happen. But you mentioned a jersey exchange. At this last air traffic control tournament, they do, like I said, a big tournament every year. It's an international tournament. There was a team there from Kazakhstan, and I exchanged a jersey with one of their guys, and that was like amazing. It was so much fun to get to chat with those guys, even if it was mostly Google Translator doing the chatting. But
That's really interesting.
Played
for
over
sure.
there.
no, they came over here. They traveled all the way to Boston for the tournament. I'm sure we'll see them again in Calgary. They had a great time. So
Wow, very cool.
yeah,
Very cool. Well, the Steam Fitters went on a tournament. I forget exactly. Was it Quebec or Montreal? I forget. But the Rangers Ed podcast sponsored the team towels, and we also did some rally towels for the fitters. So we'd love to do the same thing for you. So
oh wow,
reach out to me, and I mean, if you need help with your T-shirts, I'm not going to do that for free, but we'll definitely do the team towels for free for you for your tournament.
oh wow.
So we'll sponsor that for you guys, and I'd love to help out with anything else you need as far as merch or team uniforms and stuff like that Long Island Hockey Company can't handle.
That's
So
great. I'd love that. We do have some Islander fans on the team, but
that's all good. They'll have to suck it up because our logo will be on the towels,
Good.
but
As it
your
should be.
logo and your jersey numbers and all that good stuff will be on the towels as well. So
as it should
Hey,
be.
we support
we'd love to
support
do that
Hockey
for you.
Night in New York. There's some good Islander fans out there. Not many, but there's some good.
As long as they're logical.
I'm not gonna hijack the pod with Islanders talk, but I will say that JetBlue has a corporate partnership with the Islanders, and they are amazing to our company and our JetBlue Hockey Club organization.
Nice.
So I've got nothing but good things to say about the organization, even though I am a diehard New York Rangers fan. I hate the Islanders a little bit less now. Based upon the fact that we have such a great relationship with them and great people there that work there, and some friends of mine too. So they're great also.
Nice.
Well,
For sure, man.
I-
I mean,
let's
still,
dive into that.
still an
That was-
NHL team.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now, let's dive into that. I mean, the listeners who aren't watching or watch later, he's wearing the Sean Avery jersey with us today. And I know you said you're a diehard Rangers fan, so let's get some Rangers takes out of you. I mean, I know we don't need to go too much on last year, but what are your thoughts going to this year and what they've done this offseason?
I'm not that disappointed with it. I listened to some of the recent episodes. I heard the grades you guys issued on the offseason activity. I would agree with most of it. I know Coach Ed is hard on Brett. I can respect that. I don't think Brett is as soft as he not gets credit for, as people think he is. I think he's stronger on the puck than people realize, and will go to the dirty areas if he has to. I think he prefers not to. He definitely prefers to play on the perimeter, but I think we got to hang on to him. Obviously, if the season goes south this year, I could see them trying to unload him and get some assets, but I think Mika is the X factor. Really need a turnaround season from him, and he's unfortunately the epitome of a soft player, and he's a little bigger man than Panarin is, and so I think it would be nice if I think you guys alluded to it on a recent pod, if he hits the gym this off season and maybe gets a little harder to play against, but if he's playing with JT Miller, that's going to make him harder to play against. Maybe he's going to be more effective as a winger, and maybe he can simplify his north-south game, hopefully, or lack thereof. Hopefully he plays more of a north-south game this year. So if they're going to have Miller with Mika and Laffy, I like that combo. Cooley with Troch and Brett, I like. And I'd like to see some of the young kids get a shot. Berard's a shifty player. I'd like to see him get in the mix, although, Othman's paid his dues more, and he's probably up to get the shot before Berard. Two different players, I think Othman, if we could, ode to Sean Avery, Othman's got a little bit more of an ability to be an agitator, like a JT Miller, like a Vinny Trocheck if needed. And so I'd like to see Othman in the mix, certainly. And the fourth line that we had for most of the year last year with Edstrom, Carrick, and Rempe, I'd like to see those guys stay together So I don't know. There's some question marks, but hopefully, I think a lot of it with this team is mental, and I think maybe a new voice in the room and a fresh start. Hopefully, will do them well.
Well, to jump on your couple of assessments there, Mika did, I thought, turn it around a little bit physically when JT
Towards
Miller
the
came
end.
over.
Great.
For sure.
So I'm not going to say he's going to be Brad Marchand in the corners, but he was getting more involved, which I thought was good to see. That always helps. You don't want him banging guys constantly. You want him making plays, obviously, but he shouldn't be afraid. And as far as you saying Brett has that inner ability to get to the dirty areas, then my question would be, then why doesn't he turn that on when he needs to? So I could see your point. I could see your point saying, look, any player wants to shy away from the dirty areas. Only go when you have to, but I don't see that happening enough in what I'm watching. So a guy like Kucherov, you see him can turn it on and off when he needs to. He's going to avoid hits and stuff, but if he has to, he's going in and making the play.
Kucherov plays on the edge. He's one of the few Russian players that plays with that edge. Brad doesn't play with that edge. I don't think he ever will. I just think that I've seen him turn it on. I've seen him get a little aggravated out there and turn it up a little bit, but I think he'd prefer not to. So I don't know. JT Miller hopefully is a guy that I think can bring a lot of these guys into the fight, and get them to play a little more blue collarish.
So is he your choice for next captain?
I've heard this discussion a lot. If we're talking about leading by example on and off the ice, I think it's got to be JT Miller. Trocheck is a great alternative to that. If it's not Miller, I think it's got to be Trocheck. I think Trocheck prefers to lead more by example on the ice. Miller can lead on the ice and off the ice with what he says in the locker room or, holding guys accountable. So I don't know, but I don't think Mika should be wearing a letter. I think he should just concentrate on being a little bit more decisive out there, maybe getting that one-timer from the circle dialed in a little bit on the accuracy. I don't think Brett should be wearing a letter. I'd like to see a guy like Braden Schneider wear a letter. I know he's a young kid, but I really love his game. I love the physicality and with some offensive upside. I'm very happy. I know you guys are happy that they got rid of Keandre. I'm excited for Gavrikov coming in. That's a great signing. So there's definitely some upsides here. We'll just see how it goes. Hopefully Foxy has a bounce back year. I think he was battling a knee injury towards the end of the season. So we'll have to wait and see.
For sure, man. Well, Tom, it really has been a pleasure. I mean, you've asked or answered a lot of questions that I'm sure a lot of people have about air travel and things of that nature. And it was really interesting. It was a very, very cool to listen to you talk. I know you said you were rambling a lot, but honestly, I wish we had more time. And we'll definitely have you back on to get some more stories. I'm sure Coach Ed's going to text us in about 20 minutes saying that he forgot to ask you something. So we'll definitely have to bring you back on to check on with you and your thoughts on the Rangers and also with JetBlue and how things are going with your career and also the boxing. I mean, there's a million things we can bring you back on to talk about. So once again, thank you so much. It really was a lot of fun. I hope the fans enjoyed it as much as I did, as much as we did. Yeah, man, thank you.
I want to get on the ice with you guys too. And before we go, I know we got to run, but how's Stony Brook looking this year? What are some of the things you guys are saying to hype the boys up in the room? And what's your quick assessment on your outlook for this upcoming season?
Well, we only lost actually 2 players. One's coming back for a 5th year, but we did add, I think, 4 players that should be pretty good additions. So, and we're getting our one kid back from injury from last year, one of our better players. So, but we did move up a division, so it's going to be interesting.
Speaking of Russians, our best Russian player, Nikita. So
Nikita
and
may be
his
listening.
brother,
Probably not.
and his brother's coming in too. We talked his brother to come in, who's supposed to be a very, very good defenseman. Played AAA hockey.
Nice.
So yeah, things are definitely looking up for Stony Brook. The recruiting is continuing to improve and increase. The kids do a great job getting talent to come check out the school and things. So it's really cool. And I guess this is the first year we're going to actually have like a taxi squad or healthy scratches.
Okay.
So
Nice.
that was something that we've been trying to build towards for the last couple of years. And yeah, that's going to be interesting to say the least. Coach Ed and I haven't had to do that in a long time.
All right. Tough decisions. That's what you guys get paid the big bucks for as the coaches.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well,
We haven't actually had our first meeting yet with the players. That should be coming up in a week or so. So,
All right. Hopefully they've been responsible in the off season, right?
Yep.
yeah,
For sure, man. So, Tom, like I said, keep in touch about everything you're doing. I'm not kidding. I definitely want to maybe check out that boxing tournament if we're around that weekend. It is my sister's birthday weekend. So
I know we have the your
You cut out there, PJ, but
cut out there, PJ, for a second.
yeah, we got the Insta creds down there.
PJ, I think you're on mute. Nope, we
not a
just don't
good
have your
sign,
audio.
PJ, that the producer's not operating right.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Well, I'm not sure what he was saying, but Tom, hold me to the rally towels, like I said, for that tournament. Not the rally towels, the locker room towels. We'll definitely be in touch about that.
Okay.
We wish you nothing but the luck with everything with the hockey team. And yeah, we'd love to get on the ice with you as well. I wanted to get some summer things going on with roller hockey. I know you said that you don't play roller hockey, but we usually do at least one ice hockey game in the winter. An outdoor game. So we'll definitely keep you in mind for that. And maybe one day we'll be able to put together a tournament with you and the Steam Fitters and have everyone come to Long Island for
I would love that
tournament. So we'll see.
That.
No, I was
PJ
just
back?
working now,
There
but
he is.
I was just going to say I know your handles are below you there for the viewers, but just for the listeners, if you want to plug your Instagram where everyone can find you and your announcements for everything and your hockey team.
Sure. At Tom Murph 98. That's 2 M's, MURF 98. That's my personal Instagram. B6 _ hockey club for the JetBlue Hockey Club. And all the announcements will be on there for upcoming events, charitable stuff, hockey, and everything in between.
Nice.
Awesome, man.
Thanks for coming on, Tom. Great job. I love it.
Appreciate it,
thank
boys.
you.
Anytime.
For sure, man. Thank you again for coming on, and thanks for keeping us safe traveling and flying through the skies, man. Really impressive stuff. Got to give yourself more credit than you do. It's awesome.
That's all right. Good. I love doing it. I take pride in it. So thanks again for having me on, and keep up the good work with what you guys are doing. You know, sky's the limit, right? I don't see the end of the episode, but.
Thanks, bro. Thank you. We'll talk soon.
All right, guys. Sounds great.
Well, that was really cool stuff, man. Like I said, I could have listened to him talk about what he has to go through. I mean, I had a bunch more questions, but we needed to move things along a bit. But we'll definitely have him back on. We've been talking a lot this summer about having like a roster of guests that we could just bring on to talk some Rangers and update us with their lives and stuff. So I think we'll continue to do that. And yeah, guys, what do you think of the interview?
I loved it.
Yeah, fascinating stuff. I don't even know how they do it. Like what he was telling, all the different things they have to keep track of, all those buttons, all those trainings. It's crazy. Like you said, I thought the same thing, that mostly the planes do the work, but they have so much stuff to be responsible for. We do really take it for granted.
Yeah, it really is unbelievable. So next time I'm sitting in JetBlue or whatever, and my plane gets delayed or something, or air traffic control, this, that, and the other, you know, you kind of just got to sit back and be like, you know what, as long as I get to my destination safe, I think that's all that matters. And
exactly,
Tom's one of those guys that gets us there, and like I said, I mean, there's not much else to say. It's like it's incredible watching those airplanes take off, and it's just there's no other way to describe it. It's hard to say, you know. So.
You know that one day you were sending us videos down when you were walking your BWI or whatever, the airplane's coming in. It's never gets old.
it's crazy. It's crazy. And those double deckers that he was talking or we were talking about too, it's just like, how do those things get off the ground? It's wild. It's wild. So fans, I really hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. It was very interesting stuff. If there's anyone out there that has an interesting job or is also a pilot and wants to come on or anything of that nature, we'd love to have you on to promote your stuff and hear about what you do, man. You know, it's really cool stuff. I love hearing about it. So thank you again to Tom Murphy. And yeah, everyone go follow the hockey team. Go follow his personal page. If you're a Trump fan, book a cameo. The list goes on. He's got the boxing night, September 27th in Patchogue. And he's a stand-up comedian when he has the time. So,
and most importantly, a Rangers fan. There was a great takes, by the way.
Well, I was going to say most importantly a girl dad, but yeah, we'll go with the Ranger fan. Yeah, guys, great episode. Glad we put that together. Tom's been on the list for a while. Glad we finally did it. And yeah, let's go Rangers. Let's go JetBlue. Let's go Mosaic. All that good stuff. Love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Have a good night, fellas. Great job. Great job getting that guest.
Always.